Yeah, how you doing out there? Dr. Ulysses Jackson. So I've been doing this mental health Monday for a real long time. Kind of slowed down and stopped with the mental health Monday thing. And been going to church a lot lately, for my own personal reasons and everything. Um, so I wanted to give you guys this. Once a week, I want to give you guys a weekly word. Because last week, I just started letting some of my friends know that, I've been really acclimated with church and, getting connected. It's been helping me a lot through a lot of things that I've been experiencing in life, health, wellness, things of that nature, and just getting to a point in life where we get to a point where we say, well, what else do I want? You have the money, the cars, the relationship, and as we get older, it comes to another level. What else do we want? So, in this physical world, we can obtain a bunch of spiritual things, but we can be spiritually connected. So this is my first time doing this, so y'all gotta work with me. I used to do other things, Mental Health Monday, and give people a word of the week for mental health, because I'm a doctor with a specialization in mental health. But today we're gonna go into this King James Bible, right? Because I feel if I got the money and I got the hit to take me through the rest of the week, so should you. Because I'm not going to be greedy when it comes to sharing this word. I can't just get it all for myself and just want to run with it. So I'm going to give you our piece. So what came across my mind and my heart when I was reading the last couple of days, it stuck to me with Matthew 14, verses 26 to 31, which was a riddle for me my whole life when I saw and heard the story of Jesus walking on water. You had to really believe that this happened. It's a lot of things that we believe happened. We believe slavery happened. We know the wars going on in Gaza right now. We know a lot of things that's happening. We know right now, I think in France, they scream a heat wave, thousands of people dying. So when they said in the last days there's going to be signs. And as I was talking to my pastor the other day, I said, we're a generation that we always want signs. And if any of y'all are acclimated with the Bible, you'll know when Moses was taking the children of Israel across, when they got to the Red Sea, they said, oh, we're in trouble. God opened the Red Sea. That was a sign. Y'all know the story of Jonah in the belly of the fish. He was thrown up, in Libya, and he was, that was another sign. Then we hear about Daniel in the lion's den and how he made it out. Another sign, and then you hear the story of David and Goliath. You hear that story, and we still Meshach, Abednego. When they're in the fire, we keep hearing these stories, but yet when it comes to us, we always want a sign. So I'm gonna give you the sign that's been touching my heart lately, coming from Matthew chapter 14, verses 26 to 31. And it says, I'm going to read it in its entirety so y'all can get the full understanding of what I'm about to talk about. And this is my first one. Hopefully this word will take you through the week. It said, and when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is the Spirit, and they cried out of fear. But straightway Jesus spoke unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And then Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter came down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and he began to sink. And he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched out forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, where doest thou doubt? So the money I got from that was, if your faith is strong and you believe that no matter what you're going through, you can make it through with that faith, that's what you have to, really tap into. And there are so many areas in the Bible where it speaks of faith. If your faith was that of a mustard seed, You can tell that mountain to move. You know, sometimes when we're going through our trials and tribulations in this earthly world, we look on things earthly and say, well, I'm going to go to my lawyer. I'm going to go to my doctor. I'm going to go to my partner. I'm going to go to my friend. You know, we go to all these other areas, find the answer, but sometimes the answer is within you. You know, and someone asked me a couple of weeks ago, because they saw me going back and forth to church, they said, well, almost looking at me like, what happened? And if you know the Bible and the story of Saul, who became Paul in the Bible, you understand it takes some extraordinary things that happen to some people, where, as one of my other spiritual partners was telling me, this is a job for God. You might find yourself in a situation that's bigger than you, way bigger than you, and you're going to have to tap in. So again, as we discuss this, Matthew chapter 14, verse 26 to 31, when Jesus told Peter to come forth and walk on water, he started sinking, they said, because one, he took his eye off Jesus and was paying attention to the wind. You know, another scenario was there was the other disciples in the boat. Why didn't they come forth and walk on the water? It's because they was comfortable. They were in their zone, and they was comfortable where they was at. You know, when you get comfortable in a space, you know what I'm saying, that faith could be there, but faith without works, you know, and Peter was the one that was zealous to say, oh, wow, that's the Lord and Savior, our Master. And he said, you know, tell me to come, and he came on the water. You know, and there are different areas or different visions or different even, you know, breakdowns on how this happened or what's your understanding of. This is just my understanding. And for each person, get their own understanding. But whatever you do, try to keep that word. And again, try to give your word to take you through the week. Or even something for you to go in the Bible and look and research. See, am I reading the word or am I giving you my stuff? Now, I'm following what the book says. You know, say if it's my stuff, I'm going to say this is my stuff. This is what I got with that. So hopefully this helps somebody and get them through the week. And if your faith is a little shaky and you need to strengthen that faith, here you go right here. Pick that up. Get that. Stay in tune with it. Because it's going to come to a point in your life where you're going to need this. Because you're going to say, oh, God, help me, regardless of what it may be in your life. But if you connect, it's better to stay connected than get connected. And for so long, I was back and forth. But today, I'm connected. Hope somebody got something out of this.